where we have different heights for different facade panels or panel clusters based on their function. So if I group this now and preview this off, and this is sort of the visualization, we can preview this off. What I'll be doing is I'll be just basically copying this from this portion, including the curve, and pasting it here. Maybe I can grab a curve as well. So what I'll be doing here is just to put this curve in. Now what we'll be seeing is it's definitely changing, but what we want initially is to change them by assigning different values or assigning different kind of variables per function, right? So what I can do here is I can add a gene pool, and like let's say edit this gene pool, and starting from 0.2 to 0.80, we can increase this too, and let's have 5, put this in and randomize. And because what I wanted to do is I wanted to create these segments based on the function, right? Shattering point. So what I can do here is I can say graft to this, connect it, and now what I started to see is my grafting is changing based on my function. This is the first thing to add here. So I add this to this group. And then I'll be copying and pasting this and putting this in parameter so that I can easily visualize my shattering location. Okay, and that's fine for us too. And you know what we can do is maybe we can preview this off for a second. Okay, to make things a bit slower. And the other thing is we are not like basically we are going to be creating our planes not on the surface, it's on the curves itself, but rather because now what we are seeing, we have all these segments, right? And we have how many lines here? We have 80 lines first for the first wing, and they are, if I grab a param viewer, see it's better. You know, we have 4 different branches, and under those 4 branches, 5 branches, everything is happening. So we have to keep the data structure as it is. And the next thing that I wanted to do is maybe I can probably forgot to add these two group and these two group just in case. It's putting them down. And for now, everything is controlled by one single slider, which I am aiming to change now. And you see it's 80, 70 curves with this structure, but this structure of this is changed, right? So what I need to do is I need to use this curve to connect here. Now, regardless of their location, since they're completely straight lines, our vector won't change. So we fixed this as well. The next thing that I wanted to do is I wanted to use entwine, right, with the slider names. So what I can do here is to put the sliders as changing between 0, or copy this one and change its name admin offices underscore row, meaning rotation, and then conference hall, I guess, or conference room, changing this to conference room. RO, copy this and paste to entrance, I guess. The next one, entrance. The next one is meeting room and open office. And open office. connect this, connecting this in, connecting this in, connecting the next two in as well by creating our new slots. I mean, the whole aim is to make the control by using these guys, but then we have to be a bit like we have to be a bit further in control of what we are doing, right? Because now if I just connect this to my sliders, probably they're not going to be changing anything, because if I take a closer look at this, what I'm seeing in these curves is basically these curves are now created within these functions. So if I take a closer look at how these curves are stored in our branches, you see that we have 4 different branches or 5 different branches, and each branch has different amount of curves. But what I need to do is I need to duplicate this information with the correlated branch, in this case admin office branch, and it's something like this, right? So that I can repeat this information. Maybe I can grab a curve here just to have a slight more space. I can just connect this guy. We'll have more space, and this curve, as you see here, it's feeding this guy in. This time we'll be connecting this immediately. Why I'm taking this curve, you see it has 0 has 9 curves, so that I have to duplicate this data with 9, right? So I need to grab the length of this list, and if I grab a duplicate data, what is the data to be duplicated? This data is to be duplicated, right, with this specific number. So now if I hover over, what I'm seeing is this information. But you see, my curves are not stored in this fashion, right? You see, they're stored in this fashion. So if I graph these, now I am in the same spot with those 0, 1, 1, 1, and everything matches. So if now I connect all this to here, okay, and if I change this only, you see I only change my admin offices here, or conference room. See if they are working. What's happening in the conference room? Oh, it's come to the, yeah, it's on the corner, so it's doing this weird motion. And obviously I can change this, the conference room as well. So it is completely up to us now. So basically this guy now is replacing this one, right? So maybe I can group you and change this color, change this group's color into super red. And obviously now what I'm seeing is they are going in and out, but the same logic needs to be applied here for the amplitude values, right? So what I need to do is I need to like maybe copy this all and paste them, but this time again, or maybe completely it, right? Copy and paste them, delete them, and this time I can say, okay, you start with edit, your minimum is 1, maximum is 1, minimum is 0 and maximum is 1. I'm doing this for all. And okay, edit this. Okay, let me check this real quick. How many vectors? The same amount of information that I'm receiving here. So I'll be doing the same thing as well. So my number here this time is this. So my data is going to be this. and this is going to be connected over here. And if I delete everything here, so for instance, for the admin office, my depth can go really down. I mean, I can take them all down. Like entrance going down, it's all going down. Yeah. So, and one other thing, of course, one other thing that we can do is to provide sort of if I copy this again, and if I copy my extrusion lengths here, this time we don't need entwine, you know. We can say, okay, the data is this, but this time data should be grafted. All right, and if I connect this to my z vector, I can say, okay, now I am. Maybe what we can do is another group here, another group here, and another group here. And what we can do here is basically change the height. So for instance, admin office is going to be this, or even like the best case scenario, what you probably wanted to do is to take this guy in, graph this, and probably wire display this as hidden. Connect this to this data over here, delete this one, and add this to this group, and you can change everything here as well. So this is also it's completely, again, like this one is completely up to you. So that is pretty much it for this video, and in the next one, for this one we created all this. For the next one, we'll be wrapping the things up by adding some massings and all that kind of things.